Good morning, everybody. My name is Max Lockey. I just got back 3 weeks ago today, or it'll be 3 weeks this evening, from a study abroad in at the University of Versailles Saint-Quentin in France. It was a lot of fun. I did 2 semesters. I got there on February 1st of 2008. I stayed there through the end of June. Came back home for July and August, and then went back for the second semester. And like I said, I just got back 3 weeks ago. I had some French language experience before I went. I had taken I tested into the 2001 course of French and I took that the semester before I went there. French was my language in high school, but it had been 3 years since I'd studied it. But I had a foundation, did a catch-up course, and then went. My first year, I took 4 classes both semesters. My first year, my classes were mostly in the language department they have there. So while the classes were in French, they were taught for people who weren't native speakers of French. And then I did take one class in their English department, which was taught in English. The second semester, I came back and took all my classes in French with French students and French teachers, and that made a big difference. I really enjoyed that. You know, I learned that my vocabulary got a lot better through hearing, you know, lectures for 2 hours a day. All the classes there are 2 hours long once a week, so you sit there for 2 hours and just listen and listen and listen, and you learn a lot like that. The school is actually in Guyancourt, France, which is, I'd say, probably about 3 or 4 miles farther away from Paris than Versailles. That would be to the west. And then I stayed in Saint-Cloud, France, which was about 10 miles, 9 or 10 miles to the east of Versailles. And you just walk down a hill and across a bridge, and then you're into Paris from there. So it was kind of closer to Paris than Versailles. Though Versailles is a beautiful town, I rode my bike through it every day. I had a really good time in the program. I lived in student housing. I met a lot of other international students. The building was kind of half international students, half French students, so I met a lot of French people and a lot of people in the same situation I was, which helped a lot when learning French. Being an American or any person with an English mother tongue, it is kind of easy to fall into a trap where you speak a lot of English and you don't really learn the language, but we were all very good about that. We were in France, we were speaking French, and we made a point to kind of avoid that pitfall. And if you guys do a study abroad in a foreign country, I recommend that you all try and do the same thing, because I have friends who did go there for 6 months and really didn't learn the language. It's possible that that'll happen if you don't make the effort. But it was a blast. You know, I made great friends. I still talk to them. You know, if you don't have Skype yet, you'll have it soon, and you'll know what that's all about. You know, I got to travel a bit. From other people, my story was a little different. I brought a bike with me, and I did a lot of bike traveling. That was a lot of fun. Other people took trains around. I took a train or 2 as well. And it was a lot of fun. You know, up until that point, I was totally monolingual. I spoke English, and I'd have to say that was the best part of the experience, was just picking up another language and seeing all the, you know, doors that opened up. I'm wearing a suit right now. My job now has nothing to do with me going to France. I work at the Georgia State Capitol as an intern. But I applied for that position while I was in France, and I was able to, you know, go through the process while I was over there. So that's another thing. You might kind of feel like you're on vacation while you're there, but you're not. And it's important to remember that, and to not totally change your whole way of living around, which is tempting and easy to do.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I went on the Venice trip. It's through Ca' Foscari University, which is right in Venice. However, I had absolutely no Italian language experience whatsoever. So I was actually put into Venice International University, which is on the island of San Servolo, and all the classes are taught in English there. But they do, obviously, they do Italian courses, which I fell into the trap of not taking advantage of that, which was very stupid of me. But you really should. They do offer those classes, and they are really great because they give you assignments in which you have to go and interview Italian students that you may have met either through the school or through just going about the town. So they really put you to work in using the language as you're learning it. And if you do have Italian knowledge, then you can go to Ca' Foscari. All the classes are taught in Italian. I'm not sure of the process of that because I didn't go through it. Another girl did. But I understand it's not that bad. You just have to make sure you've got all your paperwork, you know what the classes are, you make sure you go. There is an advantage, I know, with the Ca' Foscari classes that if you wish to take the exam in English, you speak to the professor and they will let you do that. That's my understanding, because I know a few people that I went on the exchange with when I was at VIU did actually take courses at Ca' Foscari, and they asked to have their exams in English, and that's perfectly fine. So I was there from February until my classes ended end of May. I took 6 courses, 4 of which I officially registered for here. The other 2 I just took because I just wanted to. I felt like it. They were all pretty varying. I mean, I'm an English major, so I was kind of doubting that I was going to have any English major oriented courses, but I am a history minor, so all those courses really helped. But it was basically history of Venice, you know, obviously the Italian courses. I took an Americanism, anti-Americanism course, which was really interesting. All the professors also are exchanges, so there was a German professor, a Spanish professor, an Israeli professor, a Japanese professor, all over. And in addition to that, because VIU is an international school, Venice International University, the students that go there are from all over. So they're from Japan, Germany, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Holland. There was one guy from China. And so you really get a very, very, very diverse classroom, which I loved. And I want to be a teacher when I graduate, so I really enjoyed kind of experiencing what students from other cultures, how they interact in classrooms, and hopefully I'll be able to use that dynamic when I'm a teacher in case I have these kinds of students in my class and I kind of know maybe they're not so great with raising their hand or speaking out, or maybe they're really vocal, which I thought was really interesting. Also the opinions of other people and of America especially, which was really great in the Americanism class. And I don't know what else to say, really. I did do a lot of traveling. I didn't live on the VIU campus. I actually found an apartment in Venice and lived with a woman who worked in one of the glass factories. And so I lived with her and I just commuted, and no bikes in Venice. They're not allowed. No cars, no bikes. It's only boats or walking. So the school, VIU, offered the monthly pass, which you get and you pay for. I believe it's about 30 euros a month, I want to say. And now they actually have like a little card where you get your picture taken and they put you on the picture so you feel all residential there. So yeah, you just take the Vaporettos everywhere. Those are kind of like the buses of Venice, the water buses. So that was basically the commuting back and forth to school. And again, I did a lot of traveling. So pretty much every weekend was going off with one of my friends off to Prague or all over Italy, or I can't remember where else I went, Spain. Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of opportunities and you meet just so many people, and it's just, the best part is definitely the people, I think. Just meeting all these people from all over and just trying to understand where they're coming from and getting an appreciation maybe of your own education or just wanting to explore more.